Good day, everyone. My name is Katharina Jace Hauson. I am 19 years old, and I want to share how God turned my brokenness into a story of grace. At a very young age, fear was the main emotion I knew. By the age of 5, I was already a battered child. My father, who was young and full of frustrations, physically abused me and my older brother. But I took the worst of it. I was whipped, strangled, blacked out from time to time, and even burned when boiling water was poured over my face. I grew up thinking this was normal, that maybe I deserved it because I was a naughty and clumsy child. My mom didn't knew what was happening because she worked nights. During those times, my great grandmother, who would comfort me, reminding me that Jesus loved me more than my father did. She planted in me seeds of faith that gave me hope even as a little girl. When my father left us when I was 6, I thought life would finally get better and I would live normally as a child. But exactly on my 7th birthday, I was sexually assaulted by a family member. My tita and her best friends rescued us from our home and brought us to their house. No one believed me but my mom and dad, and my closest tito and titas. It was horrifying and depressing to say the least. That night is still a blur, and I only understood what happened as I grew older. From then on, my childhood became filled with confusion, therapy, and brokenness. My grades dropped, I grew depressed, and I felt like my life was falling apart. In 2016, my family became baptized Christians in a different church. I thought going to church, joining youth groups, and serving in the dance ministry meant I was healed. But deep inside, I was still broken. In 7th grade, I sank deeper into depression. I started stealing from my mom to gain friends. I hurt myself and even attempted suicide. I turned to pornography and toxic online communities that fed my emptiness. For almost 5 years, especially during the pandemic, I was stuck in that darkness. When my father died of COVID in 2021, I thought it would be my turning point. But instead, I ran further into sin. I fought with my mom, lied to my family, and even ran away from home. I hated God, hated my family, and hated myself. But even then, God did not give up on me. The day I ran away, my mom found me and welcomed me back home with open arms. That moment showed me the forgiveness of God even when I didn't deserve it. Not long after, my great grandmother, the one who first told me about Jesus, passed away. I tried to use that pain again as an excuse to go back to my old ways. But God stopped me. One night, I experienced a terrifying sleep paralysis, and it became my wake up call. From that point on, I knew I had to surrender fully to God. It wasn't easy. I still faced distractions, wrong relationships, temptations, doubts. But each time God pulled me back, He blessed me with people who loved me genuinely, including my mom, brothers, and my best friend Jeremy. In 2022, I met my D12 leader, Tita Aina, through an online small group. She welcomed me and my brothers with open arms and was always there to guide me whenever I struggled. I'm really grateful for her love and care. In September 2024, my mom and I started attending WOW Thursdays at CCF Center. At first, I fell out of place, thinking I was the youngest and wouldn't relate to anyone, while my mom also felt she didn't fit in. But there is beauty in showing up for the Lord. In 2025, everything changed when we connected with our WOW Table D group leader, Tita Grace, who mentors me, loves me, and treats me like her own daughter. With her and the ladies at our table, including my mom, I found a family. They counseled me, worshiped with me, prayed with me, and embraced me as their own. I used to be very introverted, but through Wow Thursday and Next Gen SNS, my social skills grew, and I discovered the joy of being surrounded by sisters who love me unconditionally. Now I know God placed me in Wow Thursdays for a greater purpose. Just recently, our Wow sisters held a worship forum where we glorified God, learned from His Word, prayed and interceded, and enjoyed fellowship together. These are the experiences I long for in my spiritual walk. God also gave me a love for the arts, and I found peace and joy in digital drawing and painting, whether at home or Wow Thursday. God allowed Wow Thursdays to be a space where my mom and I can bond more, and He has restored our broken relationship. We even served alongside each other in the Masterpiece Conference last year in June. Now I even lead my own group of girls every Sunday who are the daughters of our fellow Wow sisters, pouring into them the same love that God poured into me. By God's grace, I've been serving in SNS Next Gen for the past 3 years, and I'm excited to see where He will lead me next to be used for His glory. I know God's story in my life is not yet finished, praise God, but I trust in Him because I love Him and He loves me. Now I live by Galatians 2 verse 20. It is no longer I who live, but Christ who lives in me. In the same way that Jesus forgave, I have learned to forgive my father and my family member, surrendering everything into the Lord's hands. The journey has not been easy, but I choose to remain joyful in Him, as Paul declares in Philippians 4 verse 4, rejoice in the Lord always. My name is Katharina Jace Hauson, once lost but now found through the unending love of grace of Jesus Christ. To Him be all the glory.